Hello there everyone, Ash and Flash here, and welcome on into a LEGO Creator 3-in-1 set review. Today we're looking at set number 31167. This is the Haunted Mansion. It has 736 pieces. It's retailing for $89.99 USD or $119.99 Canadian. This released on August the 1st and is now on back order at LEGO because this is a very exciting set for a lot of people. Fans of monster fighters are very excited about this. It is a 3-in-1, so there are 3 unique builds. So here's all 3 builds. We are going to actually build all 3, which is going to be exhausting, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. All right, here it is built. If you want to, you can find time codes and chapters down below if you want to hop around to just the minifigures, the main build, or the train and the ship. You actually get 3 separate sets of instructions for each of the 3 builds. Let's go ahead. Let's get started here with the main build of the Haunted Mansion. So we're going to first start with the minifigures, and I want to actually begin with the skeleton, surprisingly. And that's because the skeleton plays a pretty big part of each 3 of the builds. Here with the lantern, this sort of works like he's the groundskeeper for the mansion. But included are 2 hats. So one of them is this conductor hat in dark blue for the haunted train. And then the other is this captain's hat. And that's for the haunted pirate ship. So that's really cool that they include these side little accessories. And you'll see where they're stored in the main build. Here is Lord Vampire's bride. Very obviously the exact same character from Monster Fighters, just updated, which looks amazing using the new dress piece there. And I love the printing here, the little bat down below, almost with an eyeball there as well, and an eyeball on the necklace. Love the design for the torso, and the hair piece here is from Video. I think that works really well here in black, very spooky with it sort of moving in the wind. Removing that, you can see the back torso printing as well as this incredible face print. The red eyes are just so cool, and the fangs exposed there too. Included is Frankenstein's monster, which feels like a very simple figure. I don't know what it is. The printing here and the stitches all feel very simplistic, but great. I love the torso there as well. This headpiece here is amazing with the printing, with that stitches and everything, the eyebrows, and removing it here, you could see that underneath you've got a really great face print there as well. I love the little tooth there sticking out and the expressions, and I love how the eyebrows cover the eyebrows on the printed minifigure head. And here is the werewolf included. He's got a big bone as the accessory, but I love the printing there for this wolf piece that has stuck around, I think through Harry Potter mostly. Looks great. I love the leg printing there with the tattered pants there, as well as underneath there, the fur and the plaid there ripped open, and on the back as well, some scratches too from him like scratching his back as he transforms. This is very fun to have included. Here is the ghost included, which is so cool to have. I've always wanted this, always. I had a set a long time ago, but I lost the original ghost. But it's awesome how they've done this. So it's this really cool piece that sits on top of a black minifigure head for the eyes, a white plain torso, and then the legs are just white as well. I think maybe they could have used that brick for that instead so that it's not legs. Maybe the idea is that this is a person wearing a costume. You can pretend whatever you want. But what's great about this is it also glows in the dark, which is so awesome. Oh my goodness, I've wanted this for such a long time. So just looking at the mansion on its own, I have it displayed open just a little bit here because I think that looks the best, but you can actually close it up and have it be this complete model all the way around, which I think is kind of fun that they've designed it that way. But it also can be opened up and you sort of have like this sort of flat wall design, which I think works a little bit, maybe even keeping this side flat and just having this on an angle a little bit so you could have that little porch all the way across there. And then you can sort of position the gate here up in the front. You could put it off to the side as well. Here is the gate build. It does not have a lot going on here at all. You could see that we've got a little bit of like the pathway there on the other side of the gate. I like the little chunks missing from this. I think that's really fun. Maybe could have had like those new gargoyle pieces from Wednesday here. You do have this plant there. I wish maybe there was like a vine growing up the side. I think that's something the whole set could have used a little bit more of, but the gates can actually open up as well. And those studs are there so that it doesn't open all the way. But if you want, you could also open the gates this way. This chain is really cool too because it's here so that you can actually attach it and prevent the door from actually opening as well, just by moving that over onto the other side. You do have this little 1x1 lock print. That's not something new, that is an existing print used here. So starting outside, I really love this tree build here. You can easily detach it if you want to have this moving around and sort of attacking different guests and residents here. But I like the design of this. It feels very cartoony and comic booky. You've got some teeth there. I like the angry eyes, as well as the side, how it's all shaped down below, it being thicker. You've also got these branches that can move as well and wiggle around. You could see that we've also got these pieces up top in reddish brown work well, and as well with these little plant pieces adds a lot more to having extra branches for this. Coming over here to the rest of the side, you've got all of these pieces. These masonry bricks, by the way, are going to be used in all three models to sort of make it feel like it's wood, which I think works really well. Speaking of wood, you do have a plank here that you're going to see in the rest of the set covering up the windows so that it's like sort of boarded up. I like the points on the windows as well that you'll see throughout the entire set. Over here in the front, we've got this graveyard, which has 3 tombstones, simple little builds. I really like how the one is on an angle here as well, sticking out with the Nexonite shield piece there. You've also got the little skeleton foot here. That's supposed to be a hand actually coming out of the grave. It's kind of spooky. It's also a really great spot to have the skeleton wandering the ground. I like the design of the steps leading up, how there's a little bit chipped there, as well as you've got a simple build for the rails here on the porch. I think that looks and works really well. You can open it up a little bit, but then you've got this big gap, but it's still complete with even the masonry bricks there in the middle part. But coming around here to the side, you could see another rail there, as well as on this window, you've got a plank, and you could see this window. You can see through a little bit, and you've got this little dial for a play feature inside. Coming up a little bit higher, all these windows are all boarded off here. I really like this one with the 2 planks. That's really cool. Over here in the middle window, it's a double window with that plank, as well as a little bit of the vines growing there. Again, like I said, could use a little bit more. You do have this little tower here that actually has 3 windows there, as well as this is a little play feature there inside as well. And you've got a little bit of a roof here, as well as 1 more window. Here at the top on the corner, we've got these pieces being used for decoration, which looks really good. That's also used up above here as well, and on the side here of the building. I like this main tower, how it's got the little bat on top. Over here, I think the design for this works really well, especially using that 1x2 little wall element there. I know it doesn't have the same little design, but I still think that works well, and how it's fully enclosed there too. So I want to show you, this is actually my favorite part of the entire build. It's just really smart how they've done it. So removing that, you could see you've got this slope piece with the hole, and when you close it, it actually goes right above that little ingot there. And that is just so smart and so effective. I was blown away by that. It's really simple, just how that is on top of that, but then it's also keeping the shape of this roof. And just again, showcasing what this looks like when it's all complete. This lines up really perfectly, and same with this little side roof section, how that continues there. And then you've got 3 windows there in the back as well. When it's closed, it actually connects right there. Stepping inside here, you pull on the handle. You could see we've got a little bit of a lobby there. So those are actually 2 2x2 printed tiles. This one is of a portrait of Lord Vampire's bride, which she has a chalice there, as well as a moon in the back with some bats. And then you've also got this picture here of the mansion, which looks really cool. The steps leading up, as well as a little bit of the grave site there. And you've got the moon with all the clouds around it. Coming here to the right side, you could see we've got this grandfather clock design, which turning that dial can actually have the pendulum swing back and forth, which I think is very fun to play around with. You've got that regular clock piece, which I don't think really fits a grandfather clock. That seems like a very modern print. There's nothing going on there in the corner. But here you've got this spot that is storing 2 hats for the skeleton that you saw before. So that's kind of fun that it's also on like this fabric sort of stand. Here on the second floor, we've got an organ in the middle, which is a simple little design with some keys using those grill pieces. You've also got a spot there to actually put a figure and have them playing on the piano. You've got 2 little candles there on those telescope pieces in gold. Over here in this corner, we've got a little cabinet build, which is very simple but effective. Add some furniture to this. And then here in the back, you've also got this ghost build that's sort of flying around. I like the piece there being used for the mouth. Anyways, you could see over here, you turn this gear, and when you turn it, it'll actually reveal this jewel. All right, so here is the pirate ship build. This is a lot of fun. I think that what I was most surprised by is how it's actually not the same on both sides. There's a few different details and the placement of cannons and different things that I find really interesting, that it's just not a copy on both sides. And also just how they have used the pieces, the masonry bricks here as well. And you can see it all throughout the hull there on the bottom and on the sides here as well, the sand green. It feels very spooky for sure. I love the part usage here as well for the sail. I think using the big gate piece here is very smart, and even adding some plates to make this feel more solid like a sail so that the wind can actually grab it, I think is very smart. At the top of the sail, we've got this little bat detail, as well as you can place figures here to stand up here in the crow's nest. And of course, you might have seen, but at the front of the ship, we've got the skeleton here with the pirate hat, which I think works really well to sell this spooky vibe. And you've also got this anchor here, which is brick built. There's no feature to actually pull it up or drop it, but it just sort of hangs off here on the front. Again, you've got 3 cannons over here on this side, and you can see that the design is different. You've also got a spot here for characters to actually walk the plank or dock as well. Continuing around back here, you can see we've got some windows here. I really like these pieces being used for some detailing underneath. You've got different spike pieces, some of those parts there just for some detail, as well as this big black slope for the shaping of the back looks good. Over here on the other side, I think this is one of the few spots that's actually the exact same. Surprisingly, this entire top section is actually removable, and you can see that we've got this organ little detail in the front. Here's a closer look. You've got all those spike pieces here continued. This lantern here on the back. And then here you've got also the steering wheel, which is just a gear being used, which works well. Also 2 candles on the sides there as well. And you're meant to take a figure here and you can have them steering the ship. There's actually a lot of room to place figures down below. As well as here, we've got some steps leading up to this door that you can open up to step inside the living quarters here, the captain quarters, where you've got that painting, and I guess that's maybe a bed, but it's more of a table here. Here are the extra pieces for this version. All right, so here's the final build here with the train and the train platform. I like the train platform. You've got this little vine out front, as well as these plants growing. There's a hole there, and also on the back, you've got not as many masonry bricks here that you see actually over here on the front to create that design. I love that. I think this is actually, I've said this before, but the masonry brick is my favorite Lego piece. You've also got a little hole under there as well, under the stairs. And the stairs going up, you can walk up to the top of the platform. You do have this clock attached to all of these pieces there. You've got the conductor here with the lantern as well, so you can place him here on the platform. But you've also got a little pumpkin and a small little bench there as well, using those plank pieces. There's ample space here on the platform for you to actually have everybody standing around and waiting for the train, which I think is really fun as well. I think they did a good job having the train platform be at a good height so that characters can actually hop on there and pretend that they can board the train. The train itself, it's flying. It doesn't actually go on the ground, so the wheels don't have to actually be able to spin. They're just aesthetic, and I like some of the part usage there as well for that. Using the gear pieces there, I think works well. You've got the transparent pieces there being used on the bottom for this to actually fly around. Also, for the most part, unlike the previous model that we looked at, it is the exact same build on both sides. Maybe a few minor details here and there changing in the back, but for the most part, all the bricks used are the same thing so that you can have a very symmetrical design on both sides. The cow catcher here up front is pretty neat how they've done the build for this, and it can actually be angled a little bit too. That's just how this has been constructed. I like the detailing here for the front of the locomotive with all of these sort of pieces being used for like different pipes and parts here. You've got a little flame coming out of the side there as well. One little spot here on the middle, and then you've also got a spot for smoke to come out in the front, and this is supposed to be a little light using that jewel piece. And you've also got this design here for the front of the train. Over here on the side, you've got this chain that's just loose. I can't see from any of the pictures like what specifically that's for. I guess you could chain up the ghost and have it flying around as well, or dangling to the sides. But you do have a little window there on one side and a window on the other. I think, again, this is a spot here for you to take your different characters and actually have them like flying with the train. I think that's cool with the ghost. Again, they're using the masonry bricks inverted so that you've got sort of this design where it's supposed to be the wood. And this whole back section, it's not meant to come off, but you could see here you've got those planks being used for some more detailing. You've got some coal in the back here all piled up. You can actually remove the roof of this section very easily. And you've got this little dial there as well as a lock being used there, and then these teeth pieces. So maybe the train is sort of alive, but you do have enough space here to actually take the conductor and place them inside. You can even close it up with the roof. And here are the extra pieces for this build. Anyways, everyone, that is my review of the Haunted Mansion set. I think this is a great, fun set. I really enjoyed building all three models, and I think that the Haunted Mansion is by far the best one. And I think the fact that we have these characters back here for monster fighters and that skeleton playing a part of the other side builds, I think is a lot of fun. This is a great, incredible model, I think, overall, and I cannot recommend it enough. I mean, it's already at Costco at a discount, and you're getting these incredible minifigures here too, and just a fun play set. Could it have done more? Maybe, for sure, but overall, aesthetically, like, I can't wait to have this on display, whether I treat this as an actual spooky haunted mansion or something at like an amusement park or something. But what do you think of this set? Which of the three builds are your favorites? Maybe you like the pirate ship the most, maybe you like the train, or maybe you just like the haunted mansion. You're going to keep it displayed and built like this. Be sure to subscribe, turn the bell notifications so you don't miss out on future LEGO Creator 3-in-1 set news and reviews just like this one. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.